Back on the Domino's post-game report is Carson Newman collects a heart-stopping 92-91 win over the King Tornado. Adam Cavalier alongside Carson Newman head men's basketball coach Chuck Benson. Chuck, mercy, what a game. A ton of ties, a ton of lead changes, 6 and 12 to be exact, but the final lead change, the most important. Mason Bates buries a three with a little over 2 seconds left from the head of the key.
Yeah.
You didn't call timeout. Break down what happened there.
No. Well, truth of the matter is we had told him in the timeout prior to that 51 seconds, I think it was, we said there's going to be 2 possessions here. We got to score on a designated play that we called, and Charles got the basket we wanted. And we said we got to go down and get a stop, and a stop has got to include a defensive rebound. And then we're going to have time to come down and surge. And typically, we've – you and I have talked about this before. The timeout allows the defense to get set.
Yeah.
We want to keep them in a scramble, and that's the reason I philosophically just don't believe you do that. I mean, LMU last year, you know what I'm saying? There's examples.
This has happened before.
So we tell guys to play it out and try to get 2 possessions in that last timeout, which we did, and thankfully Mason stepped up, made a huge shot, you know, and who was it that threw in the ball? Somebody shared it with him. Charlie Clark.
Goes to one of the all-time
Yeah.
trends that we've discovered over the years.
Yeah.
6 assists.
There you go.
And when Charles Clark has 5 or more assists in a game, he's now 14-1
Well,
in his career.
That's true. And see, the other thing you got to keep in mind is there my associate head coach is here. We win. And he was back. He was back this year. He's back, and he brought the good luck guy. So
the associate head coach you're referring to, obviously, if you're watching on YouTube after the fact or on the stream, it's Jake Benson.
Hey, listen,
is he 5 yet? 4?
He's 5, but he's got the understanding of a seasoned vet.
Jake, any insight? We're already in mid-season form. That's good.
Yeah, I just got to give a lot of credit to our guys because it was such our performance in all was not what we had wanted. And King came out here throwing just big time punches. But our guys held on just long enough to squeak out the win. We talked about it downstairs. The performance was not up to what we would hope. But playing poorly and still finding a way to win is a sign that a team has a lot of potential.
I presume you're saying that about defense. King goes 16 of 30 from the floor. Offensively, you guys were mind-blowingly efficient. Finish at 60%.
Yeah, I'm talking about the defense and rebounding. I mean, Mac Owens comes in here and has a 20 and 10 at the half. And that's not what he's been doing. They just came out and I thought, really for 40 minutes, made shots. They did that for 40. But the rebounding thing, they just crucified us. So we were really, really upset for the vast majority of that game with that problem. And of course, Jadon Young steps up the second half and just goes bananas and just throwing things in. So that happens. It seems like it happens in this gym too often, Kev. I don't understand what it is. We shoot it well in here, but so does everybody else. So I don't know what to do. Maybe we can convince Alan Morgan to bring in a witch doctor or something and put some kind of voodoo hex on our opponents to give us an edge in shot making.
Oh, God, you're in mid-season form, too. That's nice to see. Any roast beef you bring to the table tonight?
Not tonight.
You touched on Charles Clark. He finishes with 28 points, pardon me. 26 of that after halftime. How did he adjust with being in foul trouble in the first half and then do Charles Clark things in the second?
I could tell that he wanted this game badly, and I could also tell that he was not pleased with where we were at the half. And he came out with a lot of determination and a lot of just no surrender, play. That first 3 possessions to start the second half, we just completely obliterated the lead they had established going in. So, yeah, he came out and did what he typically does and was a leader and a shot maker and just an energizer. And we don't win that game without Charles. We just don't win the game. We're not even in a position for Mason to make that shot if we don't have Charles.
You alluded to the rebounding disparity, but yet in the second half, you keep King off the offensive glass, just 3 offensive boards after halftime. What did you do to adjust to prevent them from getting second chance opportunities?
Well, we just told our kids, look, man, they came in here and wanted it more, obviously. They wanted it more. And I think our guys, to their credit, looked themselves in the mirror, so to speak, and acknowledged that what we told them was true. So there was a much greater urgency the second half. I also thought that, that group led by Josh Murray and Sean Jones, those guys really came out there with a determination to sort of rectify the problem, and to just sort of establish a level of toughness that wasn't there to start the game, I thought.
Sean Jones finishes 6 for 6 from the field. 2 out of the last 3 games, he's been flawless from the floor.
Yeah.
Why has he been so efficient offensively?
First of all, he's a good basketball player, and he takes highly efficient shots near the rim. I love the fact he's sharing the ball. I thought there was times late that he was trying to share the ball a little too much, and forcing it. But all in all, I mean, when he's shooting 100% in the field like he is, that's big. I thought one thing that's sort of unnoticed here is Josh Murray really gave us rim protection tonight.
Yeah.
Was a intimidating presence at the rim, and I thought that really sort of encouraged him to take more jump shots from the perimeter.
First time that a Carson Newman player has had 5 blocks in a game. You ready for this? Any guesses as who the last player to do it was?
Danny McMillan.
No. Cody Henniger.
Oh, wow.
Against Brevard in 2013.
Yeah.
You break for a week now before taking on Lee and Columbus State next week. What's to improve upon? What's to get better on with a week off over the Thanksgiving holiday?
Well, we definitely got to learn that we can't ever come in and I'm not saying we were flat, but in all honesty, I felt like home opener. I think we had a lot of family people here today, our players' families. I think we were just a little bit cool. We were a little bit cool, so I'm glad we got that behind us. But we got to learn that we can't ever be cool about anything. And then we want to make sure that we sort of improve our execution on both sides of the ball. And we got some extra time this week besides class, deep fried Cajun turkey with dressing, and practice. We're not got a lot of stuff going on. So that's going to be the focus this week.
Deep fried Cajun turkey.
Yeah, my brother-in-law is sort of a seasoned vet of deep fried Cajun turkey. If you never had one, Kev, they are to die for, literally.
Yaya's going to take care of some creamed turkey this week. But you just make sure you save me some. I'll save you some. We'll reconnoiter on Saturday.
We'll do some trading.
Chuck, pleasure as always. Congrats on the win.
Thanks, Kev.
That is Carson Newman head men's basketball coach Chuck Benson. Eagles get the win over King, 92-91.